There are several Christmas markets in Rome, but the most famous is the one in Piazza Navona. Now, Piazza Navona, in and of itself, without the Christmas market, is already a sight to see. Originally, this site was a stadium. It was the stadium of Domitian that was built in the 1st century AD by the Emperor Titus Flavius Domitianus. However, when Rome fell, the stadium eventually fell into ruin. Eventually, it got replaced by Piazza Navona, which has Baroque architecture. And one of its most famous features is the famous Fontana dei Quattro Fiumi, which is the Fountain of the Four Rivers by Gian Lorenzo Bernini, which is this fountain over here. There are also a couple of smaller fountains, one on either side of the main fountain in the middle. Now, when the Christmas market is on at Piazza Navona, there are stalls that line the square at the front and at the back of the fountains on either side. And there is, of course, some food that you can buy to eat at the piazza. There's some nice sandwiches and other things, but there are also some typical things you can get that are produced in Italy. So some hams, for example, and salamis, and also some treats. So you can get the regular stuff, the mainstream chocolates and candied apples and some other candies. But then, of course, there's also the typical chestnuts that you get within Italy. So you'll find stores like this with hot chestnuts in different places in Rome, which is quite typical of this area. Now, since quite a lot of families visit the market, there's stuff for kids over here. So there's a carousel with horses that they can ride and balloons, and there's also various things you can buy, so different toys, whether plastic type toys or wooden ones. There's also some musical instruments for them, and there are also some games they can play. And of course, any Christmas market would not be a Christmas market without some Christmas things. So there are some cribs that you can find for sale, as well as figurines for the cribs. And of course, some Christmas decorations like baubles and stuff for your Christmas tree. Now, on the 6th, there's the Epiphany, and the Epiphany is also the same day as La Befana. La Befana is a witch, and as the story goes, she was visited by the 3 kings, the 3 magi, that came over and asked her if she wanted to come along with them to visit Jesus in the manger. But she refused. And she regretted it later, and she ended up giving presents to all the children. She goes round all the houses and gives good children nice presents and the bad ones a lump of coal. She's actually older than Santa Claus. The tradition has been around in Italy since the 8th century as part of the Epiphany. And it marks an official end to the Christmas season. So she gives presents on the eve of the Epiphany.